Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Horsepower Obsessed. Today, we're going to talk about the C8 Corvette and the fact that deliveries have been halted once again for a little bit of a different reason this time. Alright guys, so our friends over at the CorvetteBlogger.com have come up with a couple different articles talking about the most recent issues with the C8 Corvette. As you guys have all probably heard by now, it is having an issue with the Frunk coming open at speed. So basically, some people have reported that driving down the road, the Frunk is automatically flying up while driving. Of course, you can kind of figure out what happens next. The wind catches it and throws it backwards, potentially smashing the windshield and causing somewhat of a scene, possibly an accident. Obviously, that's not what any of us want while driving our brand new 2020 C8 Corvette, so this is obviously a big problem. Now, a lot of people have looked into this issue and found that it doesn't actually occur, or so we thought. Before we continue, I just wanted to mention the sponsor of today's video, and that is going to be Hyperion. So this is a case that you can actually open up and put your key into, and it will block any RFID signals from being transmitted. What that means is it will block the connection between the key and your car, so nobody can steal the code from your key that goes to the car and steal your car. So with the key for the C8 out, we can go ahead and pop it right into this case here and put the top on. And while it's in here, the car will not start. It's going to pop up on the dash there and tell us there's no key found. So very interesting stuff here. I will put a link down in the description below, guys. If you are interested in any of this kind of security for yourself, be sure to check it out. And I'll even put a code down there for you guys to save some money on one. Some other YouTubers, as well as just some random owners of the C8 Corvette, have tested the buttons while driving on the remote, as well as actually the buttons inside the car, and none of them are operational while driving the car. Meaning, basically, you can't accidentally open the trunk, or Frunk in this case. So what that means is it's not something that's happening by accident. No one is accidentally pressing the button on the remote or on the door to open this Frunk, and somehow it is still happening. So GM has issued a recall of sorts. Because the C8 Corvette is so advanced, the recall isn't quite what they used to be. It's not something you have to rush down the road and go to your local dealership to have fixed. It's actually something that gets pushed over the air to the car, and all you have to do is download an update. Now, this actually just recently happened in my C8 Corvette. I got an over-the-air update. It popped up, told me, hey, here's an update, press OK if you'd like to install it now. And once I did, it actually told me that I could go ahead and exit the vehicle and go about my business. It would take care of the rest. Now, that particular update was actually for the escape button inside of the Frunk, meaning after a while of sitting idle, that escape button would not activate any longer. So if you had somebody inside of that Frunk, they would not be able to get out by pressing that button, which of course is counterintuitive to why that button exists. So GM did push out an update that fixed that. I saw how it worked. It was very convenient and really awesome that things can be done this way now. Now, the only reason I mention that is because that is the exact same way that Chevy is going to actually issue the recall for the flying Frunk issue. So you're going to get an over-the-air update that automatically hits your car and asks you if you're okay with it installing. And if you are, you don't even have to be in the car for the install to complete. Again, like I said, that is hugely convenient, and I find it to be absolutely awesome that we don't have to go to the dealerships for this stuff anymore. Now, this is where the problems come in. GM has flat out said they are halting all C8 Corvette deliveries until the Frunk recall is ready. So, our friends over at the CorvetteBlogger.com go on to detail this as GM is basically not quite ready to push out this recall yet. So for right now, anybody out there with a C8 Corvette is kind of at risk for this happening. Now, what that tells me is GM has looked into the issue and found that there is nothing in the car that should allow this to happen. So as far as GM is concerned, there are no issues. There is not necessarily a problem with that Frunk popping open while driving. But what they are noticing is a very high possibility that the people closing the Frunk are only clicking it down once. And as any of the C8 Corvette owners know, you have to push that down twice to get it to fully latch. Now, if you only push it down once, you're greeted with a message on the instrument panel that says that the speed is limited to 82 miles per hour. Now, when I first saw that, I thought, that seems oddly high. My Frunk is not fully latched, but I'm still able to go 82 miles an hour. That sounds wrong. So that is what Chevy is fixing with this most recent recall that they haven't quite finalized yet. What they're doing is changing it from 82 miles an hour down to 26 miles per hour. So basically, if you click that Frunk down once and it's not fully latched, your car will only go a maximum of 26 miles per hour. Now, to me, that's a pretty awesome fix because that is really going to prevent anybody from accidentally not latching that and not realizing it until it's too late. Because if you can only go 26 miles an hour, you're not going to make it very far out of your driveway before you realize something's not right. The only way I could have ever seen this happening is someone clicks that down once, totally ignores the instrument panel, and totally ignores all of the beeping that the car is doing to let you know that that is not fully latched and you're limited to 82 miles an hour. So with that said, limiting the speed down to 26 miles per hour instead is really gonna make it so you can't ignore it. So even though this is called a recall, that doesn't mean you have to take your car into the dealership. Nothing really has to change. It's automatically gonna be pushed to the car and you can go about your business. Now, the actual stop delivery order from GM officially says in the first paragraph, effective immediately, stop the delivery of certain 2020 model year Chevrolet Corvette vehicles in new or used vehicle inventory. General Motors has notified the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration about an upcoming safety recall that involves these vehicles. And the GM recall number is N20231160. Later on down the line, it says, until further instructions are received, involved vehicles that are in the dealer's possession, new or used, must be held and not delivered to customers, dealer traded, released to auction, used for demonstration purposes, or any other dealer use. All GM certified used vehicles in the dealer's inventory within the certified pre-owned inventory systems will be decertified. So like I said, guys, Chevy's taking this very seriously, and until they can get that update out, no more C8 Corvettes are going to be sold. So if you guys haven't gotten yours yet, unfortunately, you're going to be waiting a little bit longer. Hopefully this kind of thing doesn't take too long, but as of right now, they have not given us a date or how long to expect for this. So unfortunately, it's all kind of up in the air. As you guys know, the C8 Corvette has already been held up by 2 major happenings, and now this could possibly be a third. Hopefully not, but between the strike and the pandemic, the car has already been pushed back quite a few times, and this could potentially push it back even further. But anyway, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. So if you liked what you saw, give me a big thumbs up. If you have any questions about the C8 Corvette recall or anything about the Corvette in general, leave them in the comment section down below or shoot me an email, horse.power.obsessed@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to answer anything you may have for me. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please do. I have loads of C7 Corvette and C8 Corvette content coming that you're not going to want to miss. And as always, guys, I'll catch you in the next upload.